The darkness surrounds us. It's time to light up the night. It's time for Zero Dark 30 with John.
Yay! Cut out the jibber jabber. Don't be babbling like a fool. Say what you got to say. That's all. Then shut your dang pie hole.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel, Zero Dark 30. I've already blasted out of the bunker and already made it to my office. I'll tell you what, folks, we got some big trouble. It's zero dark and it's getting darker out there. France, folks, is in big trouble. Let me go over a little bit of the facts. France has been, shall we say, they've had their population supplemented by massive numbers of foreign citizens, right? Citizens who don't care about France, French culture, French law, French fries, nothing. And that population has been growing for decades. Well, we've had a little police incident, very similar to the St. George Floyd incident. And what does that mean, folks? It means someone was killed. That's right, government killed one person. And so this immigrant population has decided to flex its muscle. They started with a few riots and some burning. And they looked around and they noticed they weren't being stopped, not the way they should have. So they decided to burn some more. They decided they're going to loot some more. They decided they're going to assault people some more. They decided they're going to kill some people and get some revenge. They even went so far, folks, as if murdering people isn't the worst that could be done, is they've gone after government itself. Not only are they fighting the police, folks, they burned the mayor's house in Paris. This is all a big, big, big deal, folks. France is falling right now. France is falling right now. Now, Macron, a few nights ago, decided everything was fine. I believe he attended a music concert while France is being attacked by these lunatics from within. Once again, all countries should be protecting themselves against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Yet all countries have invited the enemy in to live as domestic residents. So here we are. France, some people say France has fallen. Absolutely fallen. Would you agree with that? Well, Emmanuel Macron, he's got some problems. He can't seem to stop things. So guess what? Politician Marine Le Pen has come back again. Now, she is the conservative, right-wing candidate who nearly won the presidency, except Macron has one of those machines that fixes problems, right? Fixes elections, just like the Democrats have. So Marine Le Pen decides she's going to address the nation, right? Because the nation right now, the nation of France, is looking like it's going to fall. It's going to be destroyed, or at least beaten into a state of anarchy. How is this possible? How is this possible? So Marine Le Pen wants to address the nation and say, hey, we've got a problem. And only conservative politics can save France. Well, there's a couple of issues here. There's a couple of things at stake. Let's start with the banking system. That's right, the banking system. Back in 1968, 69, 67, the leader of France, Charles de Gaulle, decided he was going to turn his dollars in and take gold home. This is back when that was allowed. France decided to kind of go against the United States. And guess what happened in France back in the late 60s? The students, students, like Bolshevik students, the students were riled up into a fury, and they rioted and caused chaos, and the nation was outraged. And Charles de Gaulle was forced to resign. Of course, the United States also told the rest of the world, including France, no more gold for dollars. You don't get to come get our gold and turn those wonderful rascally dollars in. See, we were on a gold standard back then, and you were only supposed to print as many dollars as you had gold. So here we are, 50 plus years later, and we have Emmanuel Macron pulling a little bit of a fast one. He's told the BRICS alliance, which is China and Russia, Brazil and India, he's told them he would love to attend their summit in August next month. Attend their summit to discuss their new currency. Interesting, much like de Gaulle, Emmanuel Macron has kind of violated the trust of those in charge in Washington, D.C. Not only has he done that, he decided he was going to buy liquid natural gas with Chinese yuan instead of US dollars. Once again, an attack, an assault, an insult to the US dollar and Western hegemony within the banking and currency system. So is this why all of a sudden we have this Arab Spring, if you will, or shall we say St. George Spring, firing off in France? France has had trouble as of late, just as the United States has. France had their Yellow Vest riots and protests. The U.S. had its Summer of Love over St. George Floyd. But I think there's something else could be going on as well. I've talked about how an extremist movement works and builds within a nation. It starts by accumulating seats of power, and when it doesn't get its way, it then protests, and then it raises volatility in the streets to the point of violence. And once violence breaks out, mobocracy takes over. Now, you look around the United States and Canada, in England, right, you see a lot of names that don't sound very English or French. You see a lot of Middle Eastern names, a lot of Indian names, a lot of foreign names of people who have been elected to sit in the legislatures or parliament, and even have executive positions like mayor of London, Mr. Khan. So these people are flexing their political muscle. They're sitting in seats of power. They're trying to get their way, trying to convert our countries into what their countries are. Countries that they fled because they're shitholes. They want to bring their ideologies here to the West, meaning more than just the United States of America. And now, in France, as they've taken over cities and districts, they've taken over areas within the countryside, they've put their officials in place, and they're not happy. And now they're protesting. And they're pushing and creating massive violence. This is all akin to massive political takeover. Massive political takeover. And let me remind you as I close this out, that not long ago, the French military went to Macron and said, listen, we're going to have revolution in this country. There is going to be a revolt. And I don't think Macron listened. I don't think he understood or cared, or maybe he wants France to literally fall. Folks, this could happen anywhere. The difference with the United States is we have a lot of guns out here in the public. And we know the difference between right and wrong. We know the difference between American and foreign. There is no kinda freedom. There's freedom or not. There is no socialist light. Socialism becomes Nazism or communism. There's no socialist light or kinda. We've got these sorts of troubles coming to our country. Well, let's learn from what's happening in France and see it and understand the potential for it happening here. Right? Pray for peace, prepare for darkness. Chance favors the prepared mind is yours. I'll see you guys later. Semper Fi. God bless America. Happy Independence Day.